What up, though? This Chef Moore, and this is my beautiful wife, Regina.
And it ain't nothing but straight talk with Casey Austin.
It's Straight Talk 901, episode number 3. We got Chef Flavas, Chris and Regina Moore in the building. They doing some big things in Memphis. First black food manufacturer out of Memphis to land a deal with Walmart. The best spinach dip I've ever had in my life. Chef Chris also competed nationally on a Food Network show called Chop, cooked for the Obamas in Martha's Vineyard, and a new restaurant coming soon in Bartlett, Tennessee. Chef Flavas in the building.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
So look, I understand both of y'all you're not from Memphis.
No, sir. No, sir. Not at all. I'm from Detroit, but Memphis is my second home.
You from Memphis?
I'm from the Murder where it's great.
What high school you come out of in Memphis?
Craigmont. I graduated from Craigmont, originally from Raleigh. Been in North Memphis all my life.
Okay, good. So what brought you to Memphis?
Man, actually, man, I didn't expect to be in Memphis this long. My mother, before she passed, she ended up having stage 4 kidney failure, and I was coming down here to give her one of my kidneys because we was a match, because I have O blood, and my blood was a match with her, and my intentions was coming to Memphis for about 6 months, then going back to Detroit after that 6 months after I recovered. But Memphis impressed me very well.
How long ago was it? When was this? When you came?
This is roughly about 9.5, 10 years ago.
2012.
Yeah, 2012. Well, actually, it's almost about 11 years now.
So did you come down here with your culinary license, or did you get it here?
Well, no, I was in the culinary industry for roughly 9 years prior to coming to, 8 years prior to coming to Memphis.
So you started off a little young.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, my mother was a chef. My father was a chef. Uncle, my auntie, my brother went to culinary school, so it's in my blood. I've been doing this for a little minute.
Okay, good. It sounds good. So where did y'all meet?
We met in culinary school. I got into cooking because I wanted to change my life and I wanted to get a new aspect on life. So I didn't know, I was 18 at the time, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I was like, I knew how to cook. Let me go to culinary school, and then boom, I met my husband.
Okay, that's a good story right there. So y'all stuck together with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So were you a chef separately? Were y'all doing y'all own thing separately before? Or y'all just decided, hey, y'all met in school, when we get out of here, we finna kick something off together?
Basically.
Yeah, that's exactly how it was. See, and we actually met each other by chance because I was a president of ambassador at the school. Okay. And just one day the teacher told me, hey, we got a new enrolling class coming in for orientation. They wanted me to show them around school and show them the ins and outs. But the day before, I already seen Regina in the hallway. I'm like, man, that woman bad, man. Yeah. So, the next day, I seen the orientation, and I'm like this the whole time, the whole entire time.
Seriously, stirring me down.
So y'all dated through the school?
Yeah, through the school. Yeah, the first.
How long was when y'all started the school? How long were y'all in school first of all?
We was in school. It was about a year and a half. Mm-hmm. Yeah, about a year and a half with each other. Went through the process.
So he stirred me down the first time he met me. I was like, Mom. I went to the orientation with my mom, and I was like, this man making me uncomfortable. And so later on, like a month later, he found me in the hallway, and he asked me, he gave me the game. How's it going in school? Yeah. What you need help with? And so I told him what I needed help with, and he came over my auntie house that night, and he impressed me. We went to the grocery store. He bought some wine. He bought the meal. I ain't never met nobody coming like that.
So he was already cooking it up.
Yeah, and he went to the grocery store, bought the food, and he had our meal. He cooked meat for me was a deal salmon chicken with a pan-seared chicken with a dill sauce. Mm-hmm. And he cooked it for me and my auntie. My little cousin walked in and said, well, we got it made. Like, it was so fun.
I was willing to do whatever for her. I didn't care.
Right. So that's a good testimony right there. Mm-hmm. So did y'all graduate at the same time?
Well, no, actually we graduated. I was in school before her, so I graduated prior to her. Okay. But she was in a certificate program, and I was in a restaurant management program. So my program lasted a little longer than hers. So like my culinary fundamentals, I graduated and got before her, but I was still in school doing my restaurant management.
Okay, so when did y'all get married?
We got married, so we went together. We started dating. We got married we met in 2013. We got married in 2017, but I got engaged after my with CJ in my first 2015. But I was young. Again, I was 19. So it took me time to, mature. So I wanted to make sure I was completely ready to be the wife that I knew this man needed, to get to the next level, because he got high expectations.
What I've been seeing, y'all carry each other well, and I applaud y'all for that.
Thank you.
For good marriage,
Appreciate that.
So I know there's struggles in the marriage and there's bright sides to the marriage, but as long as that love is real, y'all can conquer anything.
Most definitely.
Absolutely,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you this. How do y'all balance y'all marriage and work life? Do y'all work together now? Have y'all own separate thing going as far as the cooking? What's up with that?
Right now, we do work together in all capacity, but now it's been split enough to where Regina is more so the HR, the paperwork, the marketing expert, and I handle the food. We've for a lot of times, like during our first restaurant, our catering companies, we always work together. But now we're at the first point where we can hire out employees, so they fill a lot of Regina parts, so we can handle like the management, the paperwork, so we're able to scale in a professional manner.
Right, and then they also prevent y'all from spreading. Well, prevent you. Let's say you don't want to spread yourself thin, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you can put people in a position to where you can focus on certain things.
Yeah, that's
so
absolutely.
With all the cooking going on, I ain't gonna lie, y'all make it look easy. With all that going on, I want to touch back on something that we were discussing previous before that, the work life and the marriage balance. Mm-hmm. So how do y'all manage to balance that time with the kids and time alone? Because y'all spend a lot of time with the business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So y'all got the remainder time I know y'all spend with the kids. When do y'all get y'all time? How do y'all balance
in the bathroom?
Yeah, right. Yeah, relax in the bathroom. But to be honest, our thing is hotel rooms. We hotel connoisseurs. Anything that make us feel out of place. Make us feel.
So we take a trip every other 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We try to get some time to ourselves because it does get stressful.
In your own city, like me and my wife, we may just ride down the street, get a room one night, just to change up the environment.
Sure.
That's important. How important is it to y'all? I'm sure with working together and then having to raise the kids together, y'all see each other so much. A lot of people feel like people have to have their time apart. I think it's different strokes for different folks. But when you got like me, and y'all, when you got a business going, my wife manages my business. She do all my bookkeeping. She got her thing going on with it. I got my own thing going on with it. But at the same time, we pretty much cool with how we doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we have different positions, so we're not consistently around each other all the time, because like Regina, she does a lot of deliveries, so she'll be gone majority of the day. Then I'll start my workload at the kitchen. So I'm out, I'm going.
Sometimes we don't have time for each other.
Yeah,
we have to sit down and be like, well, on that note, as far as a wife, because we have time, even though we're in the room, it's just like, you have to dedicate that time to show your spouse that attention and affection. And sometimes we don't have time for that. We're like, dang, did I see you? So we have to slow down and make that time.
That's the important thing. What mindset changes did y'all have to make?
For me,
basically, y'all really grew into this together. Y'all started from school. It's not like he had it going on and you had your thing going on and y'all had to put y'all stuff together. Like,
we didn't talk about how we started. Because we started in the trap. Let's talk about it. Okay, so we had a catering, and we had some leftover chicken. And
shout out to Chef Precious for putting us on that.
Chef Precious, thank you, Precious. Fabulous Flavors and Friends. Our chef friend, she went to culinary school. Chef Precious Jones.
Chef Precious.
She gave us a catering, and we had extra chicken, and it was like so much chicken, but we weren't gonna let that chicken go to waste. So we was like, what can we do? And Chris was like, we can sell dinners, and we was like, where can we go? Well, I was like, I know a barbershop. My friend Mick, shout out to Mick, Tony B's. Tony B's accepted us, and I was like, well, I could go up there to the barbershop, and we could go to barbershops and beauty shops and try to see if they want it. So we started at the beauty.
But $6 meals. We had chicken, macaroni, and green beans for $6, and we went around to all the beauty salons up Austin P.
The beauty supply store.
Vic and Ray's down on Jackson Avenue.
Discount wigs.
A lot of barbershops through that strip, and we just sold, and people, really start to enjoy it.
And we sold out. We was like, wow, let's do that every day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we went in and did it, and it was like, we did it for like how long until we got...
it was like 9 months before we got the restaurant.
Yeah, he ended up quitting his job and everything. It was like 9 months before he got the restaurant, and then we got the restaurant. That didn't go as planned.
Yeah, we ended up having a restaurant, And that area.
Where was this restaurant at?
It was on Jackson Evergreen. Actually, it's a restaurant. It's called
the Energy Pasta. We used to own it.
Oh, yeah.
So we got the mural painted on there.
Yeah, that was your
Yeah, but it didn't go as planned because they wanted soul food. It was right after Caves that the man passed, and they wanted soul food in that area, and we didn't offer it because we went to culinary school. Chris wasn't gonna cook no soul food. He was like, I'm too good for that. So after so long, you know, we didn't.
Yeah, so like everybody kind of in that area was, you know, having, like I say, cooking soul food, and that wasn't a passion of mine. You know, I was putting stuff on the menu like apple, brandy, pork loin, and all this other stuff because when I first came over the area, I seen this side of Evergreen, not this side, and everybody from, you know, that want the chitlins and the, you know, chicken and dressings came in and supported. You know, we were appreciative to them, but that's just not what my passion is because I was 14, 15 years old cooking, you know, soul food. I wanted to show people my, you know, take on food. I didn't want to just, you know, kind of blend in with everybody else. So we ended up letting that digress. I left there. I was a chef down in Nike, you know, all Nike, with Nike and Shelby Drive first. Then I went to the Nike and Fraser as assistant chef. I had like 4 promotions there within a year and a half.
They had a kitchen in there?
Yeah. Guggenheimer. Yes, sir. There's a company called Guggenheimer. They subcontract with all of the Nikes down in Memphis. So I worked for them for a couple years. Then worked for a lot of, you know, hotels. Worked for Gold Strike Casino. Worked for University of Memphis.
Your resume deep.
Flight, Chicago Steakhouse.
Okay. In the casino? That's our favorite steakhouse.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I was down there. What's up, been, baby?
Martha's Vineyard.
I was in Martha's Vineyard where I cooked for Barack Obama, Michelle Obama down there.
Motor City, Detroit.
So I saw you on a reality show.
Oh yes, sir. On Chop, on Food Network. Yes, sir. On Food Network. Chop.
When I first saw you at, I was photographing a party. And I met y'all there. Y'all was cooking.
Oh yeah.
Everything tasting. I was like, I know bro from somewhere, and that's what it was.
And my husband would have won. So the background behind that is his mama just passed a couple of months before. He lost his passion for cooking, and he cut his hand on a knife I had just bought him. I was so hurt. I was like, let's get this knife, and that's the knife he cut his hand with. It went through his hand twice. They took his food twice, but other than that, them folks were scared. My husband would have won. So I just wanted to clear the record.
But it was still a lot of good results, you know.
She gonna stand beside him.
I'm gonna stand beside him.
Yeah, for sure. You know, because
so y'all pretty much settled now. You ain't going from this restaurant. Y'all got your own thing going. Y'all got another building opening up.
Most definitely, and just to know that we capable of, you know, taking ourselves and our business to the next level. It just gets you so creative and make you go harder and think of things, you know, that you didn't think you knew how to do. It just put you in superpower mode, I guess.
Absolutely.
So even with everything on the up, what are some obstacles that y'all have to face every day?
Pretty much everything everybody else had to. You know, you got the bills, you know, managing the kids, you know, just dealing with life itself. You know, you just never know what to expect with life. So just, you know, going through and managing your time and understanding and just trying to grow as a person, because that's our ultimate goal, just to growing as individuals, you know, and through this process of business, we grow as individuals, you know, as well too. So that's our focus, just to become better people, you know, and align ourselves with God, you know, on a consistent basis. So that's our whole, you know,
mental. So what are y'all most recent accomplishments?
Well, we just we got a contract with Walmart. Out of like 13,000 products, we got selected, and we was the first ones on the shelf from Walmart's open call. We didn't even know when we even got the invite to the open call. We didn't even know what it was, you know, because Walmart asked us to send a sample to them, and I sent it down to Bentonville, Arkansas. They didn't say nothing for like 3 weeks. And I'm like, man, Gina Walmart. I'm like, Gina Walmart trying to steal our dip, you know. So, but it'll send us an email like, hey, you know, we got important information about your Zoom call, and send me a link for a Zoom meeting. Me still not know what's going on. They told us like, hey, we got a special guest, you know, celebrity on the Zoom meeting that want to tell you something. So we get on the Zoom meeting. They had one of the Jonas brothers come out and say, hey, you know, congratulations, let you know, congratulations, you made it. I was like, made what? You know what I mean? So I didn't know. But then I started Googling like the open call and like what it meant, and the fact that this was, something for a national aspect, then it started being like, it started being more
Getting
real what I was
real.
doing, what we were
And
doing.
so the reason why he said he didn't know is because we didn't apply for anything.
Okay.
God connected this. This was
Sure.
nothing but God in the mirror. Walmart found us
Yeah,
That is amazing.
and went from there.
Yeah, it's this platform called Range Me, that we signed ourselves up for
A year ago.
it was probably like a year ago, and they just so happened to look for our profile and found us in contact through that
That
platform.
is amazing, bro.
Yes,
Salute
sir.
to that, bro, for
Yeah,
sure.
appreciate that,
So
bro.
speaking of celebrities, you mentioned one. I want to ask you a question, man. I've been seeing quite a few things with y'all and Master P.
Yes, sir.
What's
Yes,
up
sir.
with that? Explain that to me and the people.
Yes, sir.
How y'all came about.
Well, we actually connected through this organization called Women Doing It Big, and they have we seen Master P, because Master P is actually why we put our product in the store, because we, during the pandemic, we was trying to get out of just the cooking and catering gigs. So we figured, like, what can we
How
do?
can we get these folks to buy our food on EBT? Is what we was trying to figure out.
Yeah. Then we seen Master P. He ended up putting he say, product is king, and that kind of changed our mind, you know what I mean? And product outweigh talent, and that kind of got our minds shaking, like, hey, what's stopping us from, putting something in the store? And after we did our due diligence and we kind of evaluated what, was best, what some of the great things that we have, the spinach that ended up coming out, then we, end up putting it in there. But once we got the we went down to Phoenix, Arizona, because he has a review channel, and we would know that we put our product on his review channel, that we'll have opportunity to get liked. But he ended up liking our product a lot more and embracing us, from a way more than we expected it to.
Man, congratulations on that, bro.
We appreciate it. So
Thank you.
yeah,
so I try to go into a positive direction to speak on something fulfilling to the people for the show every time. And y'all kind of motivated me sitting here listening to the story and how y'all got started, the positives, the negatives. Can y'all give the people a little insight or some advice that y'all may want to give them on growing their business or staying into it, because I've decided to quit quite a few things I started on that I felt like I should have. Some things I needed to cut loose. But what's your advice to the people on staying strong and overcoming these obstacles?
Well, my advice is everything you do, no matter what you do, it's going to be a beginning, middle, and end. It's going to be a beginning process where you're inspired, you got such great ideas, you want to do it. Then it's going to be the middle, is where you're going to have to persevere. It's going to be those times you don't feel like getting up. It's going to be the times you don't feel like doing this. It's going to be some times you don't want to spend this money. It's going to determine, if you make it to the end. A lot of times people get to that middle part and then fall off, because when you get that middle, it's always test. It's always going to be some form of tribulation, just to see if you're worthy enough to finish. But if if you want to finish, or it's actually a desire, or it's for you, you're going to be able to, pass through all of the obstacles and all the variables, because you know what's coming for you at the end. So, like I said, whenever you get to something, and like whenever it's like real shaking, there's a lot of friction. You argue with people, there's a lot of problems. That's where a lot of people quit. They're like, no, I ain't got time for this. I got to focus on other things. But if you quit, then that same type of experience is going to transfer, because the experience is going to keep on happening, no matter what business you do, what you do, or how you're going to continue to go through that experience until you figure it out. God going to put the same experience in your life. You can continue seeing them until you figure out. Then once you figure it out, you can go to the next level. Then you better max that level out. Then you continue to build higher and by higher and higher. But you got to be able to know, you got to know when you're in the middle. You got to know that, trouble don't always last, and whatever you're going through is going to be over, as long as you keep your mind in the process, because the process builds character. You'll be able to tell somebody else once you graduate from that experience, like, hey, this is what you got to do. That's what you got to do. So that's where the mind got to focus and say, hey, I'm in the middle part. It's time for me to press harder. You know what I mean? So a lot of times people light up when it get sticky. A lot of times people will back up or go away, but that's when the time you go all the way hard, and that's when you see who you are in totality.
Well, salute to that, man.
Much love.
I appreciate y'all for sliding through.
Thank you for
that was
having us.
motivating. That was inspiring. We got to do a part 2.
Absolutely, man.
I got
for
so
sure,
much going on, and probably another 2 or 3 months, y'all will have a whole nother show worth of stuff to talk about with me. So
absolutely,
thank
man.
You.
We appreciate you, man.
Anytime.
Chef Flavas.
Chef Flavas.
Shout out.